Hello again, everyone. This is George Packard with Family Lawn and Landscape. Just wanted to touch on a question that came across my desk, and it was about what are some of the best ways for advertising for a lawn care company. There are obviously many, and I'm going to share with you today a little bit about myself first. Just tell you about me. I've got a business, lawn care company, lawn care and landscaping in Wisconsin, and also one in Florida. And there's things that you need to know, and I've had many years I've been in this business, so I've seen a lot of different ways to advertise, and I've gotten burnt by a lot of them, and some that were effective years ago aren't effective today. So today, the year being 2014, I'm going to share with you my thoughts and things that have worked with us, okay? You need to advertise, you need to market to get new clients, and you need to have a constant flow of new clients coming into your business because you will lose clients for numerous reasons. They move away, or they pass away, or just they sell their house. I mean, there's all different reasons that you're going to lose clients. So if you don't have new clients coming in the door, quite often your business is just going to go down and down and down. So advertising is huge, marketing's huge. Recently, I've done a lot of studying on it in the last few years especially, and I believe that I've learned some things that can help you. First off, I want to give you this example of a commercial that used to be on television, and it was called Arnold's Rug. What it was a Yellow Page guy talking to this guy named Arnold, and he said, "Arnold, how come you don't advertise in the Yellow Pages?" And Arnold said, "Well, if I did, someone would come along and buy my rug, and then there would no longer be an Arnold's Rug." Okay? Now that made me think, okay? And believe it or not, I ran across the guy that it was kind of the same scenario, but he had cars on his lot, and we have a place that's a commercial garden center that's on the highway here in Wisconsin, and excuse me, and it's on a busy highway. And I talked to this guy, and I said, "Hey," I said, "how would you like to sell some of your vehicles up on our place up on the highway there? Maybe we could sell some for you and, just take a commission from it or something, to make a little money." And the guy told me he thought about it real hard for a minute, and he says to me, he says, "Well, George, I could do that, but if I did, then I wouldn't have any cars on my lot over here." Now, keep in mind, his lot is out in the middle of nowhere. He's out in the country. No one can see him. Nobody knows he's there hardly. To this day, the guy has a full lot out there, but pretty much doesn't have any business. These things taught me a lesson. I mean, you have to move with the times, Let's talk about, the first thing I want to talk about is door hangers. My experience with door hangers is quite extensive. I've done a lot of it down in Florida and in Wisconsin. I can tell you that from experience, everybody makes it sound like it's a big deal with these door hangers, but one, it's a lot of work to put out. Okay, initially you have your cost, okay? Maybe, I know there's a place, Flamingo Printing, I believe it is, in Melbourne, Florida, that we use. And they gave us a good deal on them, but I think you can get like 5,000 of them for like $400 or something like that. But you'll have to check the rates, look for the specials, things like that. They do work. What you will find is they're a lot of work to put out. And I didn't realize this until I started doing it. I took off with them. I grabbed a stack, and I took off gung-ho down the street I go, and about 3 hours into it, I couldn't even feel my legs anymore. They were just knotted up and cramped up, and I'm like, holy smokes, is this something else, So I inquired the help of the other guys, had them handing them out with me. You couldn't do it for more than 4 or 5 hours, and you were done. I mean, your hips hurt, your legs hurt, everything, okay? There's a lot of work with those. And your return on investment, if you took 2 guys, here's a good example. Right off the top of my head, I can tell you that because I remember it clearly. The first day I did this, we handed out, I think it was 500 flyers with 2 guys during that day, and we got 2 calls that came in. And we landed one of the 2, okay? So when you talk about percentages, I think you have a low percentage because what you're doing is cold calling. You are going door to door, handing them out when people, 99% of those people aren't looking for a lawn care company. And if you think they're going to keep your flyer around forever, they're not. Probably 95% of them chuck them right in the garbage can. There are people, however, that have called us a year later that did keep it. So, I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't work. It does work. It's just that your return on your investment, you're not gonna get a ton of clients with this. That's cold calling, not a great thing. Excuse me. Postcards. Postcards are something else that we've tried. The thing with postcards is it's the same kind of setup. It's cold calling. You're sending it out. You're sending out 5,000 of these to people, and it's 30 cents a pop or 29 cents a pop plus your cost of the postcards. They work, but again, your percentages aren't great, and the reason they're not great is because you're cold calling people. Okay, not all of those 5,000 that went out, maybe 10 people will call you. Okay, and you have 10 opportunities if they're actually looking for somebody. Okay, so not a huge fan, and just because of the expense. If they were cheaper, if mailing was cheaper, yeah, I could see doing that a lot more. And the other thing I can see doing with those is neighborhoods that are restricted, that don't allow solicitation. Those type of neighborhoods are the neighborhoods you target with postcards, because you can't get in there to hand out your door hangers. You can't get in there to knock on doors and talk to people. So you can send them postcards, okay? So that's where I would concentrate my postcard use, is in those areas that I can't get to with door hangers, okay? Street mailers. It's another thing you can do through the post office. You can send out street mailers. You can pick out your streets, where you want these things to go. You can send them out. They're relatively cheap. You can print them yourself or go to like Flamingo Printing or one of these other companies that do it. There's a lot of them. Look on the internet. You'll find tons of them that do it. Shop around, get the best prices. They do work. Okay, and street mailers are just simply just a letter that you put in about yourself. Keep in mind, whether it's street mailers, postcards, or door hangers, your approach to it, what you put on paper, your heading, your wording, your text, whatever you write that up to be, your form, has got to be really, really good. And we could go into this. It's a whole story on how to set these things up. But do your research on them. Make sure that you have highlighted points. Make sure you have things on there that separate you from your competition. Whatever makes you better than your competition. I'm sure you've heard this from all these other videos and guys that talk about it. What they're talking about is, I had to look at it myself. I had to look at it like, well, why do they keep saying that? What makes you better, than your competition? Or why should people call you? And I couldn't put my finger on it. I was like, I don't know. I mean, we work hard, we're honest, we're a family-owned company, we're dependable, and those were it right there. That was it. That is exactly what we do. This 100% satisfaction guarantee is just a bunch of BS. That's something that everybody and their brother puts on things and doesn't mean anything. Consumers are numb to that, okay? So don't worry about that stuff in any of your texts. Again, we could go on about this for hours, and maybe I'll shoot a video on that, but because I've been down the road with a lot of different trials and errors. And, one door hanger that we tried the first time didn't work really good. We came up with a different concept, offered, something free in there or some kind of brilliant service thing that would make them want to call, a good call to action. They would call. So, again, we'll go into this at another time, but just not today. But business cards are also something that everybody has, everybody knows about them. They're a good thing, and where I like to use them is when you go door to door. I like to do them especially in the neighborhoods that I'm working. So if I'm working in this neighborhood and I'm working this property right here, and I want to target the people that are right down the street, because density is what you're after in the lawn care business, okay? When you're trying to do your sales in the lawn care business, you want density. Anytime you're behind the glass, when your guys are behind the glass driving down the road, it costs you money. You want that truck to pull in, stop, and do 4, 5, 6 houses right there. Them are the houses that are making you the money, okay? So you want to concentrate on that. And one of the things that we do is we'll come out, and as we're servicing that lawn, I'll get out and I'll hit 10 houses. I'll go right around, knock on the door, and introduce myself, give them a business card and say, hey, my name is George, and I just want to let you know I'm mowing right next door. I'm a good company. Check us out on the web. You'll see, check our site out. We're really good company, and just, I don't want to waste your time, but let you know that we're here and you're working in your neighborhood, and we'd love to have your business. And then move on. Okay? So that's something that we concentrate with the business cards. Lettering on the trucks. I found this to be important. You wouldn't think it is, but I'll tell you what. I have seen, especially, well, even in Wisconsin, but mainly down in Florida, because there's so many lawn care companies. There's just literally hundreds of companies all over the place. You would not believe how many companies I see pull up in this old piece of junk, rusted out truck with a mower, throw it up in the back. The mower looks like it's been dumped off the truck 10 times over. It's just a pile of junk. And no lettering on the truck. I don't know what they're depending on to get new clients. They obviously don't have many clients. When they lose the clients they have, they probably aren't going to be getting any more. I mean, who wants to see somebody pull up in that truck and they're mowing your lawn? Okay, who wants to see that instead of a professional truck that comes in that has nice lettering on it? Your guys are in uniform. They're all clean cut. They don't have the long hair hanging, They're just respectable. They're more respectable looking, more professional looking, and that's why people will gravitate towards those type companies. Okay, so try and remember that. Yellow pages. Before I get off the lettering on the truck, make sure the lettering is big and bold and bright. Don't get these little magnets that you throw on the side that nobody can read. If you're going by them, even if a customer is in there and they like the job you're doing on that lawn, and every time you go by, the lettering is so small on your truck, they can't read it anyway, so they can never get a hold of you. So you need something big. Our trucks we put wraps on them. Okay, and we have our big website logo up there, and we have our phone number up there for them to call, and you'd be amazed at how many calls you actually get from that. And the other thing, when you do go to see a client, when they do call you, show up in one of your nice work trucks that are all lettered up nice. They're professional looking. You're professional looking. You have a uniform on. You look good. You're very respectable. You stand a good chance of landing that client.